It's down the road we go. Happy Thursday, 27th day of February, 2020. I'm Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day here, live and local, on the NCW Live channel. We're off to a very mild start. It's 39 degrees outside of our studios. Our forecast high today is going to be in the mid-50s. We could get to 60. I would not be surprised. And I say that because yesterday's high was 57 degrees, but yesterday at this time, 24 hours ago, it was 32 degrees. We're already at 39 degrees. And our forecast high today, 56 degrees. We could get to 60. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And a lot of sunshine as well. A forecast I think you're going to like. Just remember, 1 year ago at this time, the highs were in the mid-20s and we were covered in snow. So take what you can get. A good-looking weather forecast until we get to the weekend. A little bump in the road coming up this weekend, but nothing we can't handle. Forecast is coming up. Quite a bit of news to get to as well on this Thursday. Sports. We got Mariners spring training highlights. They took on the Cincinnati Reds yesterday. We'll talk about that, plus preview our weekend sports schedule. It's a busy one, as you might imagine. Mike McNally's got an opinion coming your way. It's Kennel Cameos, because it's Thursday. Cracker Jack the dog needs a home. We'll have the obscure holiday today in history. We've got some birthdays. Second half of the show, we're profiling our friends at Mobile Meals, their annual variety show. Their single biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up a week from tomorrow, March 6th, at the American Performing Arts Center. And we're taking you behind the scenes about how Mobile Meals puts things together and sends off those meals for those folks who need it. So we had a chance to talk to Trish Blevins, who is the brand new coordinator of Mobile Meals. She took over for the retired Sandy Briggs, but we also talked to Sandy Briggs as well. It's good stuff, fascinating stuff. You're going to learn a lot about Mobile Meals and maybe donate a little time to those folks. Certainly, we're going to ask you to go see the variety show on March 6th, and we'll have tickets for that variety show to give away as well. All right, let's take you around the valley at a couple minutes after the hour for another beautiful morning. Great shots we're going to have for you today. That's the cross camera, zoomed in a little bit. They're PTZ cameras. That's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom, so we can move them around a little bit. So that is zoomed in just a little bit with the Senator George Seller Bridge and the Pipeline Pedestrian Bridge at the bottom of your screen, Otabashian Bridge in the middle left hand. The sun just beginning to bathe the foothills of both Badger and Birch Mountain. Good morning to our friends up in Sunny Slope. Sun is up. Came up at 6:45 this morning. It'll hang around until 5:42 this afternoon. That means 10 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. And tomorrow for Friday, we will have exactly 11 hours of daylight. Winter is getting further and further into the rearview mirror, but of course we're still a ways from spring. The equinox is still a few weeks away. Camera number 2, where are we off to, Megan? Megan says, the Aranda Rock camera isn't looking too bad, and it isn't looking too bad. You can see Turtle Rock there dominating your screen in the foreground. Way off in the distance is the Clockham area, the Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort. The Wenatchee Valley is tucked behind Turtle Rock there. Most of what the body of water you see, of course, is Lake Aniat. It's the Columbia River, but they call it Lake Aniat, the water behind Rocky Reach Dam that buried the original town of Aniat back in the early 1960s. They had to all get up and move, but everything worked out just fine. Camera number 3. Hello to, oh my, it's Omi Gardens. Looking down over the Wenatchee Valley, looking to the south. Again, that's just a beautiful view. You can see the Wenatchee Heights area way off in the distance, Jump Off Ridge. Gorgeous view there. Good work today from Megan. Of course, Megan gets to pay. All the cameras are fantabulous. It's just a matter of what ones are we going to use today. And the mighty Columbia rolling right along, the lifeblood of us here in north central Washington. That camera's moving a little bit. It must be a little breezy up there at the ridge at Omi Gardens. And finally, camera 4. Ooh, she threw a curveball my way. Okay, I'm going to look. I'm going to study. Obviously, that's a body of water. It could be the Columbia River. I'm sure it is. Is that Stayman Flats? Yay, it's Stayman Flats. Yay, I got it right. Stayman Flats, of course, named after the legendary billiard player, Minnesota Flats. Good view there. That's on the way up to Lake Chelan on a very pleasant Thursday morning. All right. From the National Weather Service and courtesy of our friends at Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, they give your home a hug. Here comes the van, and there it goes. Gorgeous day today. I would not be surprised if we hit 60 degrees. Again, we're already at 39 degrees, so we're 7 degrees ahead of the schedule where we were yesterday at this time. Wednesday, we hit 57. I'm thinking we're going to get to 60. I really do. A lot of sunshine. High pressure continues to bring that nice, warm, dry weather, at least through the end of the week. It's still going to be warm again on Friday, as you can see, but the clouds are beginning to thicken up. It's what they call a dirty frontal system. I don't know what that means. It's going to start coming in Friday night into Saturday. It's going to push the temperatures back down to near normal. Saturday, not bad. Slight chance of some morning rain. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll get up to about 47 on Saturday. It is going to be a little breezy on Saturday, however. I want to let you know about that. On Saturday, we'll have a northwest wind about 20 to 23 miles an hour. So get ready for that. Just a couple of clouds Saturday night, 28 for the overnight low. Sunday looks gorgeous, sunshine, and a high of 49. It's just one brief day of a high-pressure ridge before it breaks down Sunday night into Monday. Monday, we go back to lots of clouds with a slight chance of some light snow early Monday morning. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll top off at about 52 or 53. Monday night, slight chance of rain. Tuesday, sunshine, but a little breezy at times. And again, whatever rain we get on Tuesday will be in the early morning hours, and then sunshine on Wednesday. I got no complaints at all. So gorgeous today, little cloudy on Friday. Saturday, sunny and breezy and cooler. Sunday, nothing but sunshine. I will be on the golf course on Sunday. I guarantee you that. Let's take you up to the major mountain passes, courtesy of the Washington State Department of Transportation. Live shot of I-90, nothing to talk about. Roadway is bare and dry. No advisories, no restrictions. Stevens Pass, roadway is bare and dry. No advisories, no restrictions. That's a new camera we're going to start using now on Stevens Pass. It's located at the Lodge, looking to the west. Again, Stevens, you're good to go. And on Blewett Pass, we'll take you up to the summit there. The roadway is bare and dry, frost and ice in places, no advisories, no restrictions, no snow in the forecast today, no snow in the forecast tomorrow. Friday night, as that system begins to come in, we're going to get some snow in the Cascades. About 3 to 5 inches of snow is expected on Friday night if you're traveling in the mountain passes. On Saturday, an additional 2 to 4 inches, and then they dry out Saturday night, and then no more snow until Monday. So the next snow event for the Cascades is not forecast until Friday night. Outside of that, no advisories, no restrictions on any of the major mountain passes. 7 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break and come back with your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And this morning, we're broadcasting live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, you know, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, you know, when you're really passionate about something, you know, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, you know, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
We are bathed in sunshine. It is 39 degrees outside of our studios. We could very well get to 60 degrees, which is close to a record high. It's a distinct possibility. We'll cool down a little bit, by the way, over the weekend. And at 9 minutes after the hour, here's what's making headlines. A routine traffic stop in Moses Lake early on Tuesday morning led to a short vehicle chase and then a foot chase that ended when K9 Rex tackled and restrained a 16-year-old suspect. It all started about 1 a.m. That's when Officer Brad Zook pulled over the driver of a Kia. Traffic violation, we're told. As Zook approached the vehicle, it sped off, but it made it less than a block before the driver lost control, spun out. This is all according to the police. The suspect then fled on foot as the vehicle, still in gear, crashed into a parked car. Zook and Rex, at that point, gave chase.
Get him! Get him! I'm a miner! Get on your stomach! I'm a miner! I'm a miner! Put your arms out your sides. Put your arms... Stop fighting! Get on your stomach now! Please! Officer, please! Please, my hands are up on my head! Stay right where you're at. Please don't let him out. Do not move. Keep your hands where I can see him. Stop paralyzed. think I'm paralyzed. Back here. 120 for it. One. Taken into custody. Start EMS for a dog bite. Please. Please help me. Please. Officer. Help me. Officer.
Don't mess with Rex. Other Moses Lake crime news. A quick stop on the side of the road to smoke some heroin in the terrace neighborhood of Moses Lake went awry Tuesday night for 23-year-old Christian Martinez of Richland and 26-year-old Satara Baronitos of Moses Lake. A resident of the neighborhood, fed up with criminal activity, called police to report the suspicious vehicle. A Moses Lake Police Department sergeant arrived on scene about 9 o'clock in the evening, approached the car on foot just in time to see Martinez flaring up heroin in the driver's seat. Martinez and passenger Baronitos was taken into custody. Both were found to be in possession of heroin, booked into the Grant County Jail on possession charges. The car was impounded, pending a search warrant for additional evidence. We have more drugs in the news. A former cannabis grower is accused of defrauding state welfare agencies while bringing in more than $1 million of gross income from his farm operation. Jeffrey Oberfelder, 57 years old, opened his Chelan farm in 2014, but the Department of Social and Health Services says he failed to report $1.1 million in cannabis sales over the next 3 years, while at the same time, he was receiving state food and medical benefits. Oberfelder allegedly reported his sales to the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board, that's required by law, but he didn't report it to DSHS while he was applying for state aid. Prosecutors have charged him with first-degree theft, second-degree perjury, false verification for public assistance. He pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on Monday. Well, a $19.3 million contract awarded to SB Structures of Seattle. They're going to build the new West Kashmir Bridge. Starting a little bit later on this spring, the Chelan County Board of Commissioners awarded the construction contract Tuesday at their regular board meeting. The award comes at the recommendation of Chelan County Public Works, which will work with SB Structures, who's been building bridges for a long time, to formalize the contract. Construction on the project, estimated to cost about $25.5 million overall, will take place and take about 20 months to complete, I should say. The bridge is being paid for with a mix of federal, state, local, and private dollars. By the way, an open house for the project will be held March 24th at the Kashmir Riverside Center. It's a drop-in event. Everybody will be on hand to answer any questions, especially for those neighbors and citizens who will be impacted by the construction of the new Goodwin Bridge. And finally, this morning, the 2020 race for president has officially arrived in Washington State. Of course, you should have gotten your ballot by now if you're a registered voter. Our very own Cal Fitzsimmons says there's a lot different about this election.
By now, registered voters in Washington should have received their presidential primary ballots, or they will soon. There are several things you should know before you vote this year. First, ballots must be returned by March 10th, Washington's new and earlier primary date. In 2016, the presidential primary was held in late May. Second, the results actually matter this time. In 2016, Democrats held their caucuses in March, with the majority of delegates going to Bernie Sanders. But in the May primary, Democratic voters favored Hillary Clinton. But those results didn't count. The presidential primary did matter for Republicans in 2016, but by the May vote, Donald Trump was the only Republican left in the race, and thus he ran away with Washington's vote. This year, the primary ballot is what matters for both parties. Also, you must pick a party affiliation to vote in the primary, and there's no avoiding it if you want to vote. With President Trump's name the only one on the Republican side, it may be tempting to vote on the Democratic ballot, but to do so, you must declare yourself a Democrat. Voting in the Democratic primary, then declaring yourself a Republican, will invalidate your ballot, as will skipping a party preference completely. So be sure to select a party if you want your vote to count. Be advised, that vital party preference is not on the ballot itself, but on the back of the return envelope above where you sign. You should know that your party preference becomes a public record for 60 days, meaning anyone can access that information. In addition, the parties are provided a list of the people who voted in their primaries, which could mean being targeted with fundraising mailings and phone calls. Though only President Trump's name appears on the Republican side of the ballot, There is a rather confusing number of options on the Democratic side. Because the ballot was set in January, the names of the candidates who have already dropped out remain on the ballot. Those include Massachusetts Governor Devil Patrick, Senator Cory Booker, businessman Andrew Yang, Senator Michael Bennet, and former Congressman John Delaney. And no, Governor Jay Inslee's name is not on the ballot. He abandoned his presidential aspirations way back in August, though you could write him in if that's your choice. This is Cal Fitzsimmons reporting for NCW Life.
Thank you, Cal. As a follow-up to that, I checked the Chelan County Auditor's website this morning for the returned ballots. There are a lot of ballots that have been returned. It looks like turnout in Chelan County is going to be quite heavy indeed for the presidential primary on March 10th. But this fascinated me. There's 143 ballots that have already been rejected in Chelan County because the voter did not do a party preference. Remember, you must pick either Democrat or Republican on your ballot, or it does not count. 143 ballots in Chelan County alone have been rejected because the voter did not pick either Republican or Democratic. You have to do it. All right, that's a look at what's making headlines at 17 minutes after the hour. Some of the news stories we're working on tonight for this Thursday evening news. Here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. We'll also let you know about some of the events going on around the valley this weekend. I'll have your warm but changing North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with a look at the day's sports action. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. We appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. This is as much your station as it is ours. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our website at ncwlife.com. Click on the Contact Us icon. You can submit a news tip or just drop us a line. We get it that way as well. We have a phone number. It's at the bottom of your screen. Or go to our Facebook page. Give us a big old thumbs up if you don't mind. And you can drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got sports, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from Mike McNaughty, and our visit with our friends at Mobile Meals. We're going to talk about how Mobile Meals works and also talk about their big variety show coming up a week from tomorrow. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Thursday edition on the NCW Life channel.
Experience the relaxation that a Bullfrog Spa provides. Visit Pool to Spa Services on Worthen Street, down from Pybus.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
Another beautiful morning in God's country. We're now up to 41 degrees. I'm thinking 60 degrees. For our afternoon high. You can quote me on that. Let's talk about sports. The Wenatchee Valley College basketball teams finished the regular season in Yakima last night. Both of them came out winners. Malik Parsons went off for 30 points last night. Chance Michaels had 13. The Knights win 84-60 over the Axe. Wenatchee Valley finishes the regular season 12-4 in conference play, 24-5 overall. That's third in the Eastern Conference. Wenatchee Valley now waits to find out where they're going to be seated in the NWAC tournament. That starts next week in Everett. To the ladies we go. The Lady Knights started off the evening with a bang. They're down to Yakima Valley 90-76. Natalie Andres scored 23 points. Chastity Spady pumped in 22. The win helps Wenatchee Valley to the final 11-5 conference finish, 20-9 overall. They too will wait to find out who they're going to play in the NWAC tournament next week in beautiful Everett. Women's college basketball schedule for tonight. Let's take a look-see. Central Washington is going to be at St. Martin's in Lacey. They tip it off at 5:15. Eastern Washington will host Southern Utah in Big Sky play at 6:05. For the men, Gonzaga, they slipped only one place in the college basketball poll. Of course, they lost to BYU last Saturday. The Bulldogs will host San Diego tonight at 6 o'clock. You can watch it on Root Sports. Eastern Washington is at Southern Utah, Central Washington at St. Martin's. The Mariners evened up their spring training record with a 5-3 win over Cincinnati yesterday. In Goodyear, Arizona, Justin Dunn started the game, went a couple of innings. He allowed a run, 2 hits. He did strike out a couple. Tim Lopes had a good day at the plate, including this RBI double to tie the game at the top of the 6th inning.
Gonzalez at second base, steps off his lead, 1 down now. The 0-1. Swung on and lasered to right center field. Jankowski ranging over. He's not going to get there. This is rolling all the way to the wall. Rounding third base is Gonzalez. He's going to score easily. Coasting into second is Lopes. A ringing double to drive home a run, and this game is tied at 2 apiece.
Gary Hill with a call on the Mariner Network. Jose Siri helped extend Seattle's lead in the 7th with a 2-out solo home run.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and clubbed to left center field. This is drilled. Fairchild back looking up. This one is gone. Onto the grass in left center field. That was hammered. A solo blast. Jose Siri. And the Mariners have extended the lead. It's now 5-2 M's.
That was impressive with that wind blowing in from straightaway center field to the left of the batter's eye.
Designated hitter.
Siri gets it out of here. On a day like this, the ball's not going to travel, but that one did.
Manager Scott Service says he liked the way the pitchers pitched, the fielders fielded, and the hitters hit.
Really impressed with Justin Dunn today. Thought he threw the ball really well. Just his whole demeanor, attacking with his fastball early in the game was great to see. He feels good about where he's at right now. I think the guys after him, I thought Gilboa threw the ball really well. As also, one of the things that he was focused on this offseason was coming up with a breaking ball. Last year was mostly fastball, changeup, and threw some really good breaking balls. Got a strikeout with it tonight. So again, really good stuff by him. Offensively, Tim Lopes is, I think, leading the league and leading the world in doubles right now. So he's continues to stay hot. Did some nice things on the bases today too. Aggressive guys that typically don't. Wisdom took off, got a great jump. So staying aggressive, made the plays defensively. Again, pitching and defense, the key today. But fun game. I like to see all these young guys we've got. We've got really talented arms. Once they keep it in the strike zone, chance for good things to happen. So good ball game again today.
Mariners back in Peoria, their home complex. They'll host the 2-2 San Francisco Giants. First pitch, 10 minutes afternoon. Well, the Seahawks have shown over the 10 years that Pete Carroll and John Schneider have been teammates. They're always working on improving, or be it free agency or the draft or trades or whatever the case may be. They always want to move forward, try and make the team better as much as possible. That's the case again this week. Of course, both Schneider and Pete Carroll are in Indianapolis for the big combine. They're talking to potential draft picks, figuring out who they might want to draft. The NFL is considering extending the roster from 46 to 48 teams. And Coach Carroll says, hey, having those 2 extra players, hey, it can do nothing but help improve the team.
Every step of the way that helps. If it's 48 and that's where it is, it's going to help. It should help us keep guys more healthy, rep guys a little bit differently. I mean, every one of those numbers affects a number of guys and who has to contribute on special teams and the rest. So 1,000% for whatever we can do to get more guys available to us, and it'll help. It'll be, you know, it's relative. Everybody's got the same advantage, but it's going to be good for the guys, and it'll get a couple guys a little bit more playing time than they would have had otherwise, and that's worthwhile.
Coach Carroll says adding tight end Greg Olson to the roster is a great move, and he wanted to personally thank a little recruiting from our very own Russell Wilson.
He can't help it but make an impression about his smarts and his awareness and his resolve to be great and to do something great and be a part of something. I can't imagine, and Russ has already seen this. They've communicated and been together in a couple different things. That they connect on a very high level about going forward and practicing and the plan and the concepts and the meaning of what it takes to get the work done. I mean, he's just on a high level, and so we're very fortunate to have him. I think he'll make a very fast transition. He and Russ will work over the summertime, in the springtime here, and in the summertime that comes up, they'll be together often. And I don't think there's any ceiling we should put on their ability to get together. I'm really excited about that.
NFL draft is on April 23rd. The Seahawks have 8 picks scattered throughout the draft. And finally, our sports broadcast schedule for the week. Hey, it's Thursday. You know what that means. Hockey night. We got the Chilliwack Chiefs on the Wild from back on February 15th. Our checker with the call. We'll have that for you tonight at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, we're going to rebroadcast the Wenatchee and Moses Lake boys playoff game from a couple of Tuesdays ago. Grant Olson with the call there. And then Saturday, we are really excited about this. The WIAA State 1A Regional Playoffs at Wenatchee High School. We're going to have both games live. The Cashmere boys at 4 o'clock, the Cashmere girls at 6 o'clock. Eric on the play-by-play. And by the way, there's 28 more days until opening day of the baseball season. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday, 26 minutes after the hour. I had a lot of different obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Chili Day, and I love chili, especially my chili, which is always the fourth Thursday in February. It's National Kahlua Day. It's National Strawberry Day. It's National Retro Day. It's National Toast Day. And most, of course, of my obscure holidays are somehow food related, but not today. Today is Polar Bear Day, always celebrated on February 27th. And I have some fun facts about polar bears. Polar bears are the largest species of bear on the planet. Even though polar bears look white, the fur is actually made of clear, hollow tubes filled with air. That's how they stay warm. A group of polar bears is called a sleuth. Unlike their brown and black counterparts, polar bears do not hibernate, but they do sleep about 20 hours a day. That ain't bad. Polar bears have no natural enemies. The only enemy that the polar bear has is us. Polar bears' noses are so powerful they can smell a seal on the ice 20 miles away, and all polar bears, for reasons that scientists don't understand, are left-handed. Happy Polar Bear Day. Hang in there, guys. It is 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the Reichstag fire happened on this date. 87 years ago today, February 27th, 1933. A guy claimed responsibility. A Dutch communist said, "I set it on fire." The Reichstag was the Capitol building of Germany. The Nazis used the fire because the guy who said "I said it" was a communist. They used the fire to solidify their power, and they eliminated the communists as a potential political threat. Historians now agree that the Nazis themselves actually planned the fire and ordered the fire. By the way, Marinus van der Lubbe, who was the guy convicted and hung, actually they cut his head off for setting the fire. He was pardoned posthumously 12 years ago by the German government. The Reichstag fire happened on this date 87 years ago today. Happy 69th birthday to the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. That means, well, what it means is any person who is elected more than twice can't be elected more than twice. Basically, no individual who's been elected president twice can be elected again. This was all in response to FDR's 12 years as president. Yeah, 12 years, let's see, knocked down the Depression, won a world war. Yeah, can't be having that anymore, right? Anyway, the amendment was proposed by Congress, of course, they have to, but they decided themselves that they weren't going to put term limits on themselves, just the presidency. So if you want term limits for your congressional representatives in Washington, D.C., it's going to take a constitutional amendment to make it happen. It happened 69 years ago today. And 56 years ago today, the government of Italy gave up. They said, this thing is going to fall over. We need help. February 27, 1964, the government of Italy said, please, experts, help us fix the Leaning Tower of Pisa, because if we don't do something, it's going to fall over. The key is they didn't want it to go back up there, because then people wouldn't come and look at it anymore. The whole idea behind the Leaning Tower of Pisa, because it brought tourists there. They said, we don't want you to fix it. We just want you to keep it from falling over. They eventually came up with a pretty good idea. By the way, during World War II, the Allies suspected that the Nazis were using the Leaning Tower of Pisa as an observation post. They sent a U.S. Army sergeant behind enemy lines to confirm the presence of German troops in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He saw it. He said, yep, they're using it as an outpost, but this thing is so beautiful, we can't blow it up. There was supposed to be an artillery strike. They were going to blow up the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But the sergeant said, nah, it's too pretty. Let's leave it alone. It's not going to fall over anymore. Bottom of the hour, birthdays. Probably my favorite Supreme Court Justice, Associate Justice anyway. He was the 76th Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Hugo Lafayette Black from Alabama. Served on the court for 34 years. He and Bill Douglas were the last two First Amendment absolutists. The First Amendment was sacrosanct. Every book, every magazine, every newspaper, every movie, every sound recording, all of it, absolutely, completely protected by the First Amendment. He absolutely refused to do a legal definition of pornography. He says it can't be legally defined as far as the Constitution is concerned. He rejected all judicial tests of free speech. He didn't believe it. Clear and present danger, no. Bad tendency, reasonableness, balancing the First Amendment to the safety. He didn't believe in any of that stuff. Hugo Black, great jurist, born in the state in 1886, lived a long and fruitful life, died in 1971 at the age of 85. My favorite novelist ever, John Steinbeck, born in the state in 1902. The Grapes of Wrath is by far my favorite novel, hands down. John Steinbeck, of course, East of Eden, Of Mice and Men, Tannery Row, Travels with Charlie. Great stuff. John Steinbeck was born in the state in 1902. Read his stuff. You will not be disappointed. He died in 1968 at the age of 66. And for us radio people, this will make you feel old. Dr. Johnny Fever is 80. Well, the guy who played Dr. Johnny Fever on WKRP in Cincinnati, Howard Hessman, is 80 years old today. Happy birthday, Howard. Mike McDonough's got an opinion coming your way, plus our profile of our good friends at Mobile Meals and the great work that they do. That's coming up. But first things first, Cracker Jack the dog needs a home. It's Kennel Cameos with Megan McPherson.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Cracker Jack is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Cracker Jack?
Yeah, this old guy, he's about 15. He's got plenty of life left to him. He's a friendly fella. He loves people. He had lived with a cat and a dog. He's friendly with both. He's a really, really sweet guy that we hate seeing go to bed each night in the shelter when we know he'd really rather be in somebody's warm bed. He's playful, he's friendly. We did a partial dental on him. He might need more dental work. He could be with kids, but we recommend older kids just because of his age. Yeah, right.
And what should someone do if they want to adopt him?
They should come on down and meet Cracker Jack. He is ready to go today.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
People are really skeptical of our industry. They have been sold products, they have been sold policies they either don't need, don't understand, confusing. I understand that. We are more about the process and the people. Our SFG roadmap is designed to take care of all of those concerns. For those that have questions about their retirement, we would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, over the past few years, I've heard increasing criticism of a company we know as Goodwill. Now, this criticism runs like this. Goodwill's paying nothing for the merchandise that they retail. They pay their employees a pittance and make tons of money in a despicable manner. Now, I can't believe this criticism of whoever this guy is. Whoever the guy is who came up with the idea about Goodwill, he came up with a very creative business plan, offers entry-level work experience to folks who might not get a job anywhere else, offers good prices for the stuff you need, and gives you and I the opportunity to get rid of your junk and get a tax write-off. And I kind of think the criticism of this guy is prompted more by jealousy than any justifiable social outrage. And by the way, the people I've spoken to who work for Goodwill, they like their jobs. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Cottage Inn has been serving quality home-cooked meals to our community, friends, and family for 80 years. Whether you prefer fresh seafood, hand-cut steaks, or one of our comfort food recipes, it's all here. Add Washington wines, craft beers, and those extra special cocktails, and you have a dining experience that has stood the test of time. Come celebrate 80 years of excellence at the Cottage Inn, serving lunch and dinner with home-cooked breakfasts available on Sundays. We look forward to seeing you.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
To Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we're at the ground floor of Central Washington Hospital, just a hop, skip, and jump away from the cafeteria and the kitchen. We're in the offices of Mobile Meals, and the gal who runs Mobile Meals, she's new at the job, but she's awfully good at it. Trish, introduce yourself to our television family.
Hi, I'm Trish Blevins. I've been working full-time for Mobile Meals since December. After Sandy Briggs retired, she had been the previous coordinator for 10 years.
And we're going to talk to Sandy, by the way, in the second part of our interview segment as we talk about the big variety show, which is coming up on March 6th at the New America Performing Arts Center, the single biggest fundraiser of the year for Mobile Meals. How did you land this job, Trish? And tell folks a little bit about your background and how you ended up in December of taking over from Sandy from this organization.
Okay, so I previously worked 30 years for Mission Vista. It's a nonprofit also that provides services for developmentally disabled folks in the community. They are actually a vendor through DSHS. I enjoyed that immensely, but I was ready for a change and actually job searching and came across this. I was already familiar with Mobile Meals from my previous job. There were some recipients there. So it just seemed kind of like a nice fit, and the more I worked with Sandy, the more I knew it was going to be a good fit.
What's the number one, and it should be, we should be pointed out, outside of yourself, everything else is volunteer driven, right?
Yes.
You're the only person who's drawing a paycheck, and it ain't even much of a paycheck, quite honestly. Everything else, your drivers are volunteers.
Yes. The board.
The board is volunteers. The seniors are asked to pay $5 a meal, but there's a fund if they can't even afford that.
Yes.
You're kind of it. As far as a paid employee. What's the number one skill set you need to make Mobile Meals run smooth? My guess is, and I've seen the spreadsheets, and the organization's got to be number one, right?
Organization and good communication skills, I would say.
Yeah. Explain to folks the rack here we're standing in front of, this and the coolers. Trish, give us a rundown of why we're standing right here.
So this is a partially filled rack that we have 7 routes that go out in the communities of East Wenatchee and Wenatchee.
Each number represents a route then?
Each number represents a route. There's approximately, some light days, 7 or 8 meals a route, some heavy days, 14, 15, 16 meals a route. So what I will do in a few minutes is I will take these large coolers to the kitchen. We will fill up the entrees. I will bring them back.
Yeah, the kitchen staff, the great kitchen staff at Central Washington Hospital here at Confluence Health, they're the ones who actually prepare the meals.
Yes.
And it needs to be pointed out, unlike other organizations that do this sort of service, these meals are fresh. They're hot, they're fresh, they're ready to eat when they're delivered to the front door of your clients.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does the hospital charge you to do this?
So they charge $4.10 a meal.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yes. Now, they do not charge for labor. So they donate a whole lot that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
Mm-hmm. And the food is pretty good.
The food is very wonderful. If you like home-cooked food, this is it. Yeah, and yes, I've eaten it myself.
And I know it sounds funny. I talked to Marky Bowling, who helped organize all this. We love Marky, by the way.
Yes.
She's so busy trying to coordinate the talent show, she just didn't have time to join us. You're always in the need of drivers. That's a big thing. Even though you have 100 and some on staff to drive, that's still not enough.
Right.
So how does one go about saying, I got some free time, I can deliver meals?
So they can go to our website and read and learn about it. They can come to the office and see me. They can call me. I will email them what they need to fill out, and I'll walk them through the process. And it's pretty painless, and we appreciate anybody that's willing to do that. We have some wonderful folks that donate a lot of time to do that right now.
Yeah, and it's all donation.
Yes.
That's the cool part.
Yes.
So each of these coolers has a specific type of food. You got hot food, you got cold food, you got room temperature food, that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you know who's getting the right meal? Say, okay, I can't eat cauliflower or I can't have garlic. How do you know?
So each entree is labeled, and on that label it has what they like and specifically what they don't like. So we're sure to not dish that up that particular day.
Okay.
So it's very specific. We don't offer a menu per se, but we're very specific on what they like and what they don't like, and we're sure to make sure that that's what they get every day.
And how do you end up with clients? The people who actually are either ill or shut in, or for whatever reason they can't prepare a good square meal at home. How do they end up on the mobile meals radar?
So some people just happen to hear about us and call. Some people are referred to by different agencies in the Valley, such as our social workers here at the hospital, other agencies. Some are referred to by friends, some are referred to by family. So it has happened to be very different throughout the years.
How many clients do you have right now, do you know?
So right now we have still around 90.
Mm-hmm. That's a manageable figure, is it not?
That's manageable. We can put out 100 meals every day fairly well. We only have so much time in the kitchen that we are allowed there. So any more than that would be pretty difficult.
It's a Tuesday as we film this. Is Tuesday a lighter than normal day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Recipients can get them Monday through Friday. Some recipients choose to do a few days a week. So specifically Monday, Wednesday, Fridays maybe. Maybe somebody doesn't want to get them Tuesday, Thursdays. It depends on what they want.
Mm-hmm. And if the hospital charges $4.10 per meal, and the suggested price for your clients is $5 a meal, that's 90 cents in seed money, which goes back into the coffers, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then for those clients who say I don't have $5, I'm sorry, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Is there I don't want to say a scholarship? Is there some sort of fund or something like that?
There sure can be.
Okay.
Most folks are very honest about what they can donate towards the meal. Sometimes the board approves maybe one or two people that actually can't pay anything. That's not the general rule, though. Most every recipient does donate some.
And it should be pointed out that the reason that we're here is to talk about the Big Talent Show on the 6th day, because that's the single biggest fundraiser of the year, and all the money for the Big Talent Show that we're going to talk about with Sandy here in a few minutes, all of that goes into the coffers to make your ends meet.
Yes.
So
very
so
much
what we'll do is we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll see Trish in action here. How does that sound?
Okay.
Does that sound good? All right, we'll be right back with Trish. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Let Fitterers Furniture help you turn your dreams into reality with their exciting selection of quality furnishing and accessories. Whatever style you are looking for, you will find beautifully crafted furniture of exceptional value and the unmatched Fitterers customer service to make this shopping experience one you will keep coming back to. Make a point of visiting Fitterers Furniture in downtown Ellensburg.
Quality selection and service since 1896.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive, no nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care. Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're in the Mobile Meals office here at the ground floor of Central Washington Hospital / Confluence Health. And the meals have been delivered, as you saw. They're out and about for another exciting day of delivering those meals to those people who need it from Mobile Meals. Almost 50 years old, Sandy Briggs is joining me. Mm-hmm. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, how are you
doing? Good to see you. I don't mean it. Sandy's almost 50 years old. Sandy's only 40 years old. Recently retired as the person who
was coordinating,
coordinated everything. Trish has the gig.
She does.
Your impressions of Trish so far?
She's absolutely top notch.
Yeah.
Wonderful. She's doing a great job. She loves it, and the people love her.
Yeah, she's doing. From what I've been able to tell, she's doing a great job. But she was flat out. She said, "Sandy Briggs taught me everything, including the little tricks to save time and get things done correctly."
Yeah, there's a myriad of details that we had a great. Our board president, I will give a kudos to him, Jim Menez, really revised our operations manual and made it really user friendly. And so it's kind of like the Bible of what happens at Mobile Meals.
And it's been a huge success. Almost 50 years old now.
Correct.
Mobile Meals
right. I think next year.
Yeah. Are you going to have a big party of some kind?
I hope so.
Yeah. So, but we're here specifically to talk about the Big Variety Show, which is coming up on March 6th at the America Performing Arts Center. This is the biggest single fundraiser of the year for you guys.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's bringing in the cash down.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And yes. And we have we're very fortunate. The PAC donates the facility, and all the performers donate their talents and time. So it's a great event for us, and it's a great way for the community to have some fun and support Mobile Meals.
Marky Bowling normally would join us,
right.
but Marky has been really busy organizing this big talent show. She's pretty confident. She told me that you're gonna sell out.
I hope so. Yes.
So anyway.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Well, sell out with the exception of 2, because Marky gave me some tickets, and I'm
right.
going to give those away at the end of the show. What was the learning curve for Trish to take over Mobile Meals? She took over in December, is that
right.
correct?
Yeah, we had a month together where we trained together.
At what point did Sandy go, "Oh, Trish has got it"?
Pretty early on.
Yeah.
I'm on the philosophy you just throw them in the deep end with a life buoy and they'll catch it. And she did great. She caught on. I tried as much as I could to pull back and just let her. I think you learn best by someone telling you, showing you, and letting you. So that's what I try to do.
It's funny because when we were between shoots here, a lovely young couple came in and they dropped off all of their paperwork to become drivers.
Oh, great! Yeah,
yeah, their insurance and their license and their form and everything. So you got 2 more drivers to add to the fleet.
Yeah.
Now that you're retired from actually coordinating all this stuff, are you still on the board? Are you still involved in Mobile Meals?
Just kind of consulting.
Okay.
My husband's a volunteer. And so I'm right now spending quality time with my grandkids and my mom, and I have a few projects at home. But I've filled in a few times for driving, and it's been a part of my life for over 30 years through volunteering before I worked here. So I'm sure I will.
One of the things I've noticed about the drivers is that not only do they love what they're doing, and it's strictly volunteer work, and it's a couple hours a week or more if they do more routes, they really seem to enjoy it, and they seem to do it for a long time.
We have a longevity, and actually when people finally get to the point where they retire, a lot of reasons, usually it's their aging or whatever, it's a difficult decision for them to step down, and most of them really miss it.
Yeah, and they develop an emotional attachment to their clients.
You bet they do.
If they're the regular, like my route is always Route 3 on
Mhm.
Wednesdays, you get to know Mabel and Janet and Bob
Exactly.
and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And they really care about them genuinely.
Yeah, which is cool.
It is. It
Which is
is.
cool. But there's always a need for drivers.
Exactly.
So walk me through that process. If you say, I can give mobile meals a couple hours or 4 hours a week, what do I do, Sandy?
Well, you could either call the office or you can go to our website. And we have the application forms on there. You could print them out. You could mail them in. You could fax them in. And then once we do a background check, which is required by law, then you work together with Trish and you set up a time to ride along. And that's where you get your actual training. And then she has a handy calendar that shows all the vacancies, and you just pick a day that works well for your schedule.
And there's always in fact, I saw the March printout that Marky gave me. There's always some holes there.
There
isn't
is,
there?
yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you also have the last second, I'm sorry something came up and I can't drive today.
Yes, exactly. Illness or I got a dead battery and AAA won't be here for 2 hours. That kind of a thing.
Because the clients expect the meals.
Right, and we always get them there. We have a great response for when those vacancies come up. They've never not been filled.
How important is the talent show on Friday night? How from a percentage of your revenue standpoint, how much is it?
I don't know exact percentage, but it's really important. And I think also that for us, it's the community awareness. And it's a great way for all the performers. I think a lot of them really don't know about mobile meals when they're first asked. So you look at like the marimba band that has, I don't know how many students. You multiply that times their parents and their friends who are going to hear about mobile meals because they're going to say, what did you do Friday night? Well, we performed at the Mobile Meals show.
Yeah.
Well, what's mobile meals? And so that kind of community connection, I think is, I know we gave the marimba kids, I gave to Vinnie Lee, their director, posters and little flyers and asked them to distribute them around town. So just learning about that.
And that's, awareness is just as important, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And obviously, you can't discount the funds that we need because recipients pay what they can towards the cost of the meals, but it's not the full price. And so that's important for us to be able to make sure everybody gets their needs met.
The meals, it costs about a little over $6 to make. You're asked the clients to do $5.
Right.
And it's so it all
right.
It's you could charge more, but you shouldn't.
Right, exactly.
And that's why where this money comes
Right.
through. You have a list of the talent.
I do. We have the First Sanctuary Choir from the United Methodist Church, and I think they've been with us before.
They have, yep.
And so they're gonna perform, and then we have a piano duet called Four Hands Piano, which I never really learned to play the piano, but I love piano music. And so that's going to be Susie Sheldiecht and Margaret Scott are going to do that. And then for the last, I'm not sure how many years, we've had Music Theater come and does a reprise of their show, which is Mamma Mia this year, which I'm sure will sell out.
Yeah.
And so that's a great, enthusiastic performance there. And then we have the Bonga Marimba Band, which is, they were with us several years ago, and that was the brainchild of Vinnie Lee in Eastmont School District. And that, if you've never, they've been at Pybus, they've been lots of places, and they are not to be missed.
They're really good, and you may actually have dancing in the aisles.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can probably Google them on YouTube and see them, or on the Eastmont District website. I know I've seen some clips of their performances,
They're
and
good.
they are
They're
a
really good.
showstopper,
Yeah.
really. And then we have a group from I think they're from the Apollo Club. Called We Be Men, which is everybody loves a men's quartet, or it's kind of, I don't know if it's barbershop type, but kind of like that.
A cappella, and they're really good.
Yes,
I've seen
they
them
are.
Perform. Yep.
And then we have something for everybody, so we have a dance group from Fabulous Feet, and they are another showstopper. We originally started out just as a choral music show at the United Methodist Church. They hosted us for a number of years, and we just outgrew that
Isn't that
facility.
a great problem?
Yeah,
That's a great problem.
And so the PAC came along as a kind of a sponsor, and that enabled us to branch out to a variety show.
Speaking of the PAC, Alex Haley, the interim executive director of the Performing Arts Center, will be your master of ceremonies.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's entertaining enough in himself to come.
Yes. And as I mentioned before, Marky gave me, Marky Bowling, who's part of our little organization here, they help with this come together. She gave me a couple of tickets to use as I so desire, but I want to give them away. So to any of our viewers, so it's winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com is the email address. Don't forget, it's one entry per email address. If you have more than one email address, you can enter more than once, but it's one entry per email address, and I'll give these away to some lucky person who gets to go on us, and I'll see if I can actually get them to fork over the $12 per ticket and send it off to your way. All right. All right. Anything else on your mind while I have you here, Sandy?
Well, the seats are reserved,
Yes.
and we do have entertainment in the lobby ahead of time, and the bar will be open, so it's a great time to come. The Mobile Meals Board will be there to meet people. We also be beginning to sell our raffle tickets, which happens in May. So it's a great time if you're even interested in learning about volunteering. You can come and talk to someone there because the board will be there to meet and greet, and you won't have to hurry in to find a great seat.
And by the way, I don't know who's running your website now, mobilemealswenatchee.org, but whoever it is doing a heck of a job.
That is our another volunteer, one of our board members does that, Jim Inez.
It looks really good, and you can read about the history,
Exactly.
and he's got all these old photos and newspaper clippings. It's really good. Again, it's mobilemealswenatchee.org, and all the information on the talent show is there as well. Again, I love this. A meal and a friend at your door each day since 1971. It's good to see, Sandy.
Good to see.
Retirement has treated you well.
Oh, I'm loving it, yeah.
And happy 41st birthday. I know it's coming right around the corner.
Oh, you bet,
there.
yeah.
Again, the Mobile Meals Variety Show is at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. March 6th, doors open at?
6:30.
Show starts at?
7.
Tickets are available at the PAC office. You can get them. Just go to the Numerica Performing Arts Center. If this sells out, if you go to the door expecting just to buy a ticket and walking in, you're taking a chance.
Right.
Yeah, because it usually sells out. It's always good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And afterwards, we'll talk really about how Trish is doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I saw her steal a fruit cup.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I'm kidding. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Wow, Wenatchee Valley, Collins Winter Clearance has begun. 30% off boots, coats, jackets, vests, sweaters, tunics, tops, selected jeans and slacks, winter scarves and gloves. All red checked items are 30% off. Lotus handbags, selected Brighton luggage and jewelry, all on sale. And your favorite brands like Joseph Ribkoff, French dressing, Tribal, Icelandic, soft boots, etc. Super service, super selection, all at Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special. Welcome back to this drop-dead gorgeous Thursday here in North Central Washington. We're already at 43 degrees outside of our studios. Our record high for this date is 62. We may get there. Let's take one more look at the forecast from the National Weather Service. Now you see the forecast high today is about 56. Now we hit 57 yesterday, which was just 3 degrees off the record high for that date. I'm thinking we could actually kiss that record high. It's a possibility. It's just so much warmer now than it was 24 hours ago at this time. So I think certainly 60, maybe even up to that magic 62 set a record high. In any event, it's going to be a beautiful day today. Clear skies tonight, 34 for the overnight low. Clouds will be thickening up as the system moves out, as the high pressure ridge moves out, I should say. 53 for the overnight low. Saturday, lots of sunshine, a little windy. At a high of 47 degrees, lots of sunshine Sunday. It looks gorgeous there with a high of about 50 degrees. And then kind of a mixed bag Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as a weak ridge of high pressure is going to set up. But it's probably not going to be strong enough to knock out any kind of storm systems. By the way, the mountain passes are fine. You are good to go. No advisories. No restrictions and no snow in the forecast for the Cascades until Friday night. Tomorrow on this program, we're talking wild playoff hockey. Everybody have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.